What is going on, everyone? This is Eric coming at you from just outside of Hartford, Connecticut, and today we're going to continue our NFL Rant series as we look at why I despise the New Orleans Saints. Now, a couple of months ago, we released a video looking at 3 of the NFC South teams. That will be linked in the description below. But I said in that video that the Saints will get their own special video. Here it is, a few months later. I despise the Saints for multiple reasons, and they're going to be listed right here. So the first one is Bountygate, of course. So in the 2009-2010 season, which we're going to call the 2009 season from here on out, the Saints had this little bounty system going on. So there was audio and everything like that from the 2010 playoffs where you can hear them specifically calling it out. Now, who's them? Defensive coordinator Greg Williams. He somehow still has a job in the league. I have no idea how. But what he did is he would offer players bonuses for injuring opposing players. So he would pump up his defense, and there's plenty of clips. I'm not going to repeat any of it. But basically, he would be like, oh, hit them in the head, knock them unconscious. If you knock them out of the game, you'll get X amount of money. So they did this big time. There's a huge clip of it against the 49ers. Definitely check that out if you haven't seen it already. And, of course, they did it against the Vikings in the NFC Championship game that year. This was, of course, the year the Saints were going to win the Super Bowl. So it was a little amazing that they somehow were able to keep their Super Bowl title because of this, but they literally called out bounties on the opposing players. So you would get a good chunk of money if you hurt a player. That's why we saw players like Brett Favre in that NFC Championship game take big hits. Now, that's a whole different story in and of itself, but Bountygate just made me despise the Saints from there on out. I could not stand the Saints after hearing that story. Drew Brees. Drew Brees is one of the better quarterbacks in NFL history. There's no denying that. But as an opposing fan, this guy always puts up amazing numbers against you, no matter which team you like. He won a Super Bowl, and simply put, he's one of the old stars of the game. He has retired, of course, but he's one of the old stars in the game. And since he got a ring before by Eagles, for example, I automatically got some hatred for him for that. Sean Payton. Now, Sean Payton was the coach of the Saints during their Bountygate scandal. He also is still the coach. He's just a very hateable character. Sean Payton has an attitude. Sean Payton thinks he's better than you. And Sean Payton just, how he acts, how he coaches. If you remember the 2017 NFC playoffs where they played the Vikings, he was mocking the Vikings fans' skull chant during the game because he was so confident the team was going to move on. Guess what? They didn't. So congratulations, Sean Payton. You made yourself look like a joke on national TV by doing that. So Sean Payton's just a moron. Let's not forget, he was okay with Bountygate. You can try to tell me, oh, Sean Payton didn't know. He knew. He knew. Why else would he be suspended a year? Come on. He knew what was going on. And then, of course, there's that whole story from the 2009-2010 season when he was suspected of stealing Vicodin. Come on, man. What are you doing? What are you doing? Fanbase. This fanbase is awful. Like, say what you will about the Eagles fans, okay? I get it. Say what you will about the Cowboys fans. But guess what? I will stand up for a Cowboys fan over a Saints fan. So these Aints, the Aints fan base is horrible. They're a bunch of babies. Case in point, 2018 NFC Championship game. There was a no call against the Rams. Yes, it should have been called pass interference on, the cornerback. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do about it? You just say, okay, you know what, fine. It was a bad play. We get it. You move on. Every team gets screwed over by bad plays every year. Saints fans didn't care. You know what the Aints fans did? The Aints fans went out and said, we need to change. We need to change. And it partly ruined the 2019 season because they had that stupid you can challenge pass interference rule. It slowed down the pace of the play. Very few pass interference calls were overturned. And they actually went out of their way. One of the congressmen from this general area spoke about the no call on Capitol Hill. Why? What are you doing? It's a joke. Now, this fan base is also known for cheering their own quarterback's injury back in the 93 or 94 season. Their quarterback, Wade Wilson, got hurt in a home game, no less. They were cheering. That's ridiculous. People want to trash the Eagles, for example, for cheering when Michael Irvin got hurt. First of all, we're going to go over that when we post the Cowboys video. But no, you don't cheer an injury, period. I don't care if it's your least favorite guy in the league. You guys know how I feel about Tom Brady? Tom Brady got hurt, I wouldn't cheer. I wouldn't say, yes, that's amazing. No. You don't cheer for injury, regardless of what it is. Even if the guy's struggling, you don't cheer for an injury. Ridiculous. This fan base, or this team, has also had some recent domination over the Eagles. You know, there's been multiple times, 2 of the times in this past decade when the Eagles made the playoffs, I got knocked out by the Aints. Both times one time was in Philadelphia, one time was in New Orleans. I remember both those games, of course. Both were led by Nick Foles. Both had heartbreaking finishes where Darren Sproles got a massive play and then the Aints kicked a game-winning field goal in Philly. And then, of course, the other one was the Alshon Jeffrey not able to secure a catch. Misses it, it gets picked off. You know, the Eagles should have won that game, but both were heartbreaking. Of course, the Aints have also kicked the Eagles' butts in the regular season recently. They ran up the score back in the 2019 or 2018 season. I don't remember which one it was. They completely ran up the score against the Eagles. It was ridiculous. They were calling these trick plays to get massive points. Why would you call a trick play when you're up by like 30 points? I don't understand. That's more a knock on Sean Payton than anyone else. But we're not going to go over that. I'm just going to have to stop this one. Who dat? So their slogan in the 2009-2010 season was who dat? And all the time, you would turn on the news, you would turn on any sports station, and they'd be talking about who dat, who dat, who dat. I don't care who dat. I don't care who that is. Just stop. It's not funny. It's not clever. What are you going to do? Just stop. There's better slogans. I like the Eagles' underdog slogan. You know, it's so much better than who dat. Lastly, we have Ricky Williams. Now, I have no problem with Ricky Williams as a player, but I just don't like how the Aints treated him. They traded up to get him, and then they painted him as a villain when he struggled. You traded up. You traded your whole draft to help the Washington team, no less. So you gave Washington a ton of picks. Of course, Washington is an Eagles rival. So, so you do that. That's automatically a knock on you to me. And Ricky Williams didn't pan out. You got rid of him after only 3 years. You sent him packing. It boggles my mind. And, the fan base to this day still hates Ricky Williams. It's not his fault that Mike Ditka traded everything for him. So I don't hate Ricky Williams, but I just wanted to list him as an example here. And I have to say one good thing about this team. I despise the Saints. So the one good thing I'm going to say is you've been on the side of history multiple times. Against the Vikings with Stephon Diggs' great catch. You were on the field during that. You were on the field when Marshawn Lynch ran through your defense like Swiss cheese. So, congratulations, Aints. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I despise the Aints. Have a good rest of your day.